It's great to be up in Sydney, particularly up the Carlton on the weekend. I've been looking at porphyries and gold deposits for north of 30 years, and back just before COVID, Andy Stewart, who's here today, dragged me up to have a look at the Kharmagtai deposit in Mongolia, which was my first trip to Mongolia, and it was January, so it was a little bit chilly. What I saw there was a porphyry intrusive complex that was quite complex and had a lot of variability to it. It had a significant resource, and it was a little company with a big asset. So what do? Our strategy was to systematically drill the deposit, do an upgraded mineral resource estimate, do a scoping study on that to show that this thing could work, and then use that to attract a funding partner. The company was roughly a $30 or $40 million company at the time. We managed to do all those things, and we've currently got a resource of 1.3 billion tonnes containing 3.5 million tonnes of copper and 8.5 million ounces of gold. It's a relatively low-grade system on average, but as I say to everybody I talk to, looking at the average grade of porphyry systems is a really lazy and stupid way to look at porphyries. This system contains 125 million tonnes at 1% copper at today's metal prices, and it's you extract value by exploiting the variability in these types of deposits. So we're an exploration company. We're currently market cap of 120 million, the enterprise value about 110, with a lot of copper and gold. The partner we brought into this project was Xanadu Mining Group. Now, Xanadu is, I think, the third biggest copper producer in the world now. It's they want to be if they're not. They produced over 1 million tonnes of copper last year. They're aiming to produce 3 million ounces of gold as well, and one of the fastest growing companies in the world. I recently visited their facilities in Xiamen. Their engineering facilities and their metallurgical research labs are first class, and they're involved in projects over I think 16 countries now, including the JV with Ivanhoe over in the DRC. A fantastic partner. Importantly, they have the balance sheet and they have the technical capability to build and operate a mine of this scale. It does work on the three holy grails of porphyries: scale, byproduct credits, and low stripping ratio. We've got a stripping ratio of less than 1 to 1 here. We've got a very strong gold credit, and the PEA described a mine that will do 50,000 tonnes of copper and over 100,000 ounces of gold for 30 years. Now, we're currently in pre-feasibility, and we are looking at all those technologies that you should look at in a project like this. Unlike other stories, this is a low technical risk story. It's a common garden variety open pit, or series of open pits. It works on a standard copper concentrator, producing a very high quality con. We don't have an epithermal overprint here, so the mineralogy is very clean. 20% copper con, 20 odd grams of gold, and very little penalty elements. So it's a concentrate that everybody's going to want. The technologies we're looking at to improve this over the PEA, which was published in 22, involve making money out of the oxide. There's a weather component to this, top 20 litres, currently modelled as waste in our financial model. We're doing oxide leach work on that, and it looks like we'll probably have a nice little start-up operation of oxide, which is pre-strip material that needs to get mined anyway. We're looking at coarse particle flotation using hydroflow technology that allows you to coarsen up the grind and really trade off throughput against recovery to get more bang for your buck per hour out of the back end of the plant. And that's looking very promising as well. And we're also looking at various ways to future-proof the fleet through electrification of the haulage fleet. And it looks like trolley assist will be probably the technology we land on. So nothing earth-shattering or new. It's just in application makes a very serious difference to this project. So we're thinking this is a project that's going to be well north of 50,000 tonnes per annum of copper and well north of 100,000 ounces of gold for 30 odd years. Like most big porphyries, it's really hard to shut these things down, so it's still open laterally and open at depth. And we do like to invoke the Hugo Dummett model. All of our geochem says go deeper, the grades are getting higher. We've got very limited deep drilling, and we do see there's potential for this thing to grow significantly at depth. So we're, in terms of our beneficial ownership of the project, we own 50% of the holding company that owns 76% of the project. So we just have just under 40% beneficial ownership, but we currently have control. We're the operator of the JV, and we share control with Zijin, and we need to take this project forward shortly. We're about to deliver a PFS, which satisfies our side of the joint venture agreement. Zijin then become the operator, and they're on a fast track to put this thing into production. Theoretically 2027, but I think the point is it's not 2037. It's this decade. It has low ESG barriers, and not because the standards are low in Mongolia. They're actually quite high. It's because the complexity is low. No one lives there, and it's flat. So we're talking about conventional tailings dams, conventional waste dumps. The families that live there, they had a very cold winter, and we had to help them out with stock feed and what have you. But we have a very good relationship with the four levels of government in Mongolia, particularly those that matter most, our neighbours. I built a new core shed wherever I go, so there's a nice warm core shed there, which replaced the sea containers with a breezeway that Robert Friedland and Andy built back in the 90s. So it's a good project. It's on a fixed timeline. It's low technical risk. It's low ESG risk. It is very good. The Mongolian government's put a lot of infrastructure down there, so we're only 100 k's or so from the Chinese border. We have rail within 10 k's of the site. We hooked up grid power for less than 400 grand recently from 7 k's away. So we have 35 kVA power there, which allowed us to shut down our diesel gen sets. That's not enough for the project. The South Gobi Energy Network is basically power that comes up from China and feeds Sant Tolgoi and the rest. We're looking at a 50-50 hybrid grid solution for power here. We've got heaps of water in the artesian basins. So it's not a function of is the water there, it's a function of getting the work done and the licenses secured and the production boards established. So there's water, there's power, there's people. So this will be a FIFO operation from UB or Investability, which is what Rio do. And we have an excellent benchmark down the road to compare all of our capital and operating costs against. So it's a great project. It's on a fixed timeline. It will happen. We are currently the operator. Have the highest amount of respect for Zijin. They are real professionals. Down to earth, we're an exploration company. We do like the stands. We used to joke, when I was running Newcrest, it would all end up in somewhere ending in stand one day, and it looks like that might come true. We love the Central Asian orogenic belts. I think that's where the next group of major discoveries are going to come from, and it's also where mines can get built, inside 20 odd years, which is what it's taking elsewhere. So I think you'll see a lot of that activity through Mongolia and the stands coming forward. We think we've got a natural advantage as an exploration company. Our teams in country are excellent. Andy's been there for probably far too long in terms of decades of knowledge, and we can operate safely to high ESG levels there. We tapped two other projects. One's called Red Mountain. If it was sort of a North Parks type setting, if it was in the Lachlan Fault Belt, you'd probably float a company on it. We're drilling there now. It's a seriously advanced project. We've got that 100%, and we hope to have some news flow coming from that soon. And I do like nickel, so Andy's just done a deal on a project up in the northwest, which is a magmatic nickel copper system, which we think has great potential. We have the right to earn 80% of that, and we're actively looking for precious and base metal opportunities in the region. It's not for the faint-hearted, Mongolia, but it's certainly elephant country, and we're well and truly established there. So thank you.